We don't have any club business to cover this month. On Amiga News, I'm not going to do a deep dive on any of this because it could take our whole meeting. And I don't think that this necessarily appeals to everybody. But it was a good month for me stumbling across things that I hadn't seen before, and I thought I would put them up here. Keep in mind the agendas are kept in an archive, so you can always go back and get these links later at the past agendas here. They're all in there, so if you want to dig deep, you can. But the first one that I found this month that I thought was pretty cool is a guy who's really digging into Commodore 64 AI-generated games. And he's documented his tool chain here on what he's doing. And he actually has it to a point now to where the games aren't what I would consider playable just yet, but he's having it write these things in C and assembly, compiling them down, running them in Vice, and actually having games work. And you can go in and download and play these games for yourself right now. So bottom line, 8-bit is not immune to the effects of AI taking over. And I was pretty impressed with the results that he was already able to get on some of these. So he's got all this stuff at GitHub, and then he's posted some articles. We won't get into these, but these are some of the articles where he goes into more details about how his journey and what he's done and what he's learned and what worked and what didn't and what have you. So if that interests you, those are some pretty good articles. Next, a guy reached out to me, Howard Price, because he saw us online, saw us at Amy West, and he's like, I gotta get a guru guide. I need a guru guide. So Brian and I worked together because Brian had taken ownership of those at the end of the show, and I got one out to him. Actually got out to him. I forget where he's at. He's somewhere in Ireland or Scotland or something was his address. It actually got there in a week. It got there quick. I sent 2 copies. I sent one to him. I sent one to him. I sent one to my buddy in Merced. The UK got it first before my buddy in Merced. It's crazy. So anyways, I was so fixated on getting this guide to him that I hadn't really chatted much with him. So I'm like, oh, well, by the way, knowing that this guru guide's kind of low-level stuff, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I'm writing a tool called AriaForce to reverse engineer and analyze 68K code. So it appears to me to be like some kind of super uber debugger where you can load your program into the emulator, and through his software it's loading into the emulator, and you're viewing registers and memory locations and stepping through code, and you can go into some code and get some help to tell you what that line of code, what that assembly instruction does.
So this is like C64 debugger.
It's like what?
C64 debugger, where you get to see all of what's going on in the machine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a similar concept.
Yeah. So once again, he's got a lot of. I've got his playlist up there. He's got a YouTube playlist where he goes through different types of software and using his tool. It's under active development. And once again, this is another computer programmer type of thing. So if that's your jam and this interests you, I thought it was pretty interesting that he's digging so deep into this. So this is, you can download, so I think this is itch where we're at right here. Yeah, we're at itch.io, where you can download the current version that he's working on. And then he's got we won't get into it, but he's got an AriaForce playlist on YouTube where it's got the video we just watched and different things. So the emulator rotozoomer test, the stunt car racer running from IPF disk image. So he's running some of these, Shadow of the Beast, stuff that we've seen before, and inspecting the code as it runs. So that's Howard. Got us another friend across the pond. And then I came across this one just last night. Um, it it was in my Facebook feed. This guy's trying to create a library. If you have a PyStorm, where from the Amiga you can use the GPU in the PyStorm, and and use that as your graphics accelerator for your 68,000 code. Very early stages. And it's one of those things that's so obscure. It's going to be interesting to see who, if anyone, like writes software to use this and what have you. For me, the most amazing thing was there's this forum out there called Amigatronics that I'd never heard of before. I thought I'd seen them all, and here's a brand new one. Apparently since 2007. I don't know how this has stayed off my radar. But he's typical forum style. Talks about a bunch of stuff. Amiga Future Magazine, the Pico IDE, which I'd seen somewhere else. This is an IDE emulator, kind of like we have for our flash floppy emulator for disks. This you can like mount up IDE hard drives and switch between them and do CD-ROMs, yes. So it's a pretty amazing little thing. I've started thinking about my 4000 because that's got IDE in it, and I'm like, ooh, maybe that needs to be my drive emulator for that machine.
I have one coming in September, I think.
Oh, all right, September. That's a long way out. So I'll pencil you in for the Christmas party to do a demo of that one. So anyhow, Amigatronics, forum I've never seen before. Okay. And then, I keep track of the Amiga events going on. We had SoCal, just happened over Valentine's weekend. They have a VCF West official YouTube channel where they have not posted any videos from this year yet, but I did find someone who did a walkthrough and put a post there. So I don't think many of us get to make all these events. So it is kind of neat. It's just there's no narrative on this. It's just background noise throughout the whole video. But he just basically walks through the floor and the sales floor, so you can see what all they had going on there. So, spoiler alert, they had a lot of Macs, which, yeah, of course I'm a little biased. I'm in the Commodore camp. But, I look at all these Macs, I'm like, what do you guys do for fun other than have like strawberry colored Macs? I mean, oh, I do have to say, I love my Apple II. I think that's like a really sweet spot for apples in the retro world. And they did have a lot of DOS type of stuff there too. Lots of Macs, lots of DOS. A little bit of Commodore Amiga was represented there. On there, it's all good.
This is all being type 70. There we go. There we go.
Sound is hot day.
So Jerry's been to class before, so if you notice the inside, it's not the inside. Let's not have actors in this video.
I was gonna say, where'd you get the AT&T?
It was right there. I'll tell you.
Well, where's this place at? I want to go there and see that blue computer. Put it that one place, not one place at one time.
Don't do it, Bob.
Yeah, sorry, it's sitting on top of this desk. But it's supposed to be at the Oh, wow. Yes. Romance at our show. Yes, there will be. So the exteriors were filmed in Burbank and in Lodi, California, and the interior was filmed at the Computer Museum in